Jason Starbuck here with Starbuck on the Move. I am honored to be sitting here with now become a friend of mine. His name is Andy Costello, and I met him sitting in here in Thailand, sitting at a small little eating restaurant called Mama's, and right now we're actually here at Dragon Muay Thai. And one thing that caught me with him is he tended to be a quiet guy, and those are always the worst thing. As you always wonder. But he had such a kind heart, and we had some conversations. And then I had a friend of mine mention that Andy had worked out with guys like Rampage Jackson, Michael Bisping, and some current fighters that are fighting in the UFC now. So I asked him, and it's an honor for me to introduce Andy here, if I could just do an interview with him and maybe share his story about maybe what his life's been about and kind of go from there. So I'll just start with, right off the bat, what got you started in the beginning? What was maybe as a young kid? What was your thing as a young kid?
I think what my original thing was chess. Not the world's greatest street-bred sport. And I think maybe that led to me getting picked on a little bit. So, at the age of 12 or 13. Sure. At the age of 14, I'd had enough. So I think it was time to maybe build myself up a little bit. Sure. Yeah. I started weight training.
And you started weight training. At that paradigm shift in your life, were you in chess, and that's such a different sport. What made you go from being, a chess player, and fortunately we'd spent some time talking earlier, and you had mentioned that you did fairly well in chess.
That's right, I was a junior champion.
You were junior champion. So we got a junior champion chess player who, what were you weighing, maybe around 10, 11, you were thin?
I was thin, yeah, I was small.
Okay. And then at that age, you got puberty and things like that started kicking in, and then you started weight training.
That's right.
Okay. And then from there, what?
From there I grew to a reasonable size. And studied judo at 17.
Started judo at 17?
Yeah.
Okay. And what brought you to judo?
Judo, I think again, because of some earlier experiences of being beaten up.
Okay.
It taught me a lesson, which was that you need to be able to stick up for yourself. That was the lesson I learned.
Okay.
Unless you go through that, you don't necessarily learn that lesson. Yeah, you know what I mean? Maybe, unless you're from place, you don't learn that you need insurance. So that was kind of the lesson I took. Okay. Not the only lesson.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't all grim. But
Sure.
It was a lesson that I took out of my childhood. And kind of led me into judo, which I saw was a good way of defending myself. And some boxing as well.
And so you did some boxing, and I think I've had a martial arts background myself and things like that. And myself, I've always been a thinner guy. So sometimes I think when I was younger, my parents put me into martial arts for the Self-Defense Act, and not only that, the Confidence Act.
Yeah.
When at the time that you were getting, I don't know, even getting picked on, I don't know if would be like the right term.
I probably would describe it pretty exactly.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at that point you changed, and then you're turning 17 years old, and in Britain, I think that I don't know if we brought this up, but you were born in 1962, I think?
67.
67, I passed you by some years. That's okay, all right. My notes are off. Okay, so 1967. So at that time, judo was one of your options on a competitive sport, and boxing would have been.
That's right.
Okay. So, what made you choose judo over boxing? Because boxing is so, boxing. I mean, you got Muhammad Ali, you've got, guys like Joe Frazier. I mean, at that time you're becoming a heavyweight. What made you choose judo?
I had more success with judo, right from the start. I think the conditioning that I took from